It's that time of year again. It's the Eastern Sierra Trout Opener. So we're going to go over some of my favorite hot spots for this year. The last Saturday in April is the Eastern Sierra Trout Opener. Things have changed a little bit. There's still some waters that are actually open now, but for the majority of the Eastern Sierra, it is the Trout Opener. I know many people that go up with their family and friends. They've been going up for years. It's a tradition, and it's simply known as Fishmas. That's how popular this event is. This is going to be a year without a bunch of health restrictions, and hopefully a lot of the restaurants and resorts are able to get back to normal and just have a great season. So let's go over 5 spots to fish on the Eastern Sierra Trout Opener. The first spot on my list is going to be Bishop Creek Canyon. The good news is that the roads to South Lake and Sabrina should be open by opening day, but North Lake might be a hike in like it is every year. Many areas of the Bishop Creek Canyon should be stocked ahead of time, such as the south and middle forks of Bishop Creek and along with Intake 2. Also in Bishop Creek Canyon, there's some more exciting news. Jared Smith and his family, who runs Parchers and South Lake, has also purchased the facilities over at South Lake, so they will be running both South Lake and Sabrina Lake. We'll miss Patty and her husband, who ran the Sabrina Lake facilities for years, and it was sort of a tradition to go up there and say hi to her every year, and they had some good food in the restaurant as well. So Patty, will miss you up there. Second on the list is Crowley Lake. Crowley Lake always draws a crowd every opener. In the past, I've heard of back in the 70s and 80s, the crowds were so big there that you could actually walk across the lake on boats, just hopping from boat to boat. It doesn't get that crowded anymore, but there is a ton of fish in this lake. One of the problems you can have at Crowley Lake is the wind. And when that wind blows, there's whitecaps all over the lake. But hopefully for this opener this year, there's no wind, and believe me, there is a ton of fish in there, from rainbows to some browns and cutthroats, and also some perch as well. But there is a ton of trout in there, so go out there and catch them. Third on the list is the June Lake Loop. As of this video right now, all of the June Lake Loop is open. The roads are open, the lakes are open, they're ice-free, and they've been getting a healthy dose of trophy trout that are being stocked by the June Lake Loop area. With the private stocking to the trophy trout, there should be some good quality and quantity of fish throughout all the lakes in the June Lake Loop. Before we get on to the first spot here, don't forget to subscribe, and why don't you leave in a comment below maybe where you're going to be fishing this year for the Eastern Sierra Trout Opener. Fourth on the list is going to be Bridgeport Reservoir. Yes, the water I know is down at Bridgeport Reservoir. That also means there's less places for the fish to hide. Fishing the dam side of the lake should produce fish, and there's a good chance that, as every year, there's going to be a double-digit brown coming out of Bridgeport Reservoir. Also on the other side of the dam is the East Walker River, and this past season there was a winter closure of the East Walker. So what does that mean? Those fish have not seen any lures at all or flies at all since the end of the season, so those fish are going to be hungry there as well. Before we get to the fifth spot on this list, stick around because there's also going to be a bonus spot as well. So fifth on the list is going to be the upper and lower Twin Lakes that are out of the Bridgeport area. These lakes, as of right now, are ice-free. The roads going up are ice-free and snow-free, so they should fish really well early in the season. The upper and lower Twin Lakes are known for kicking out some monster brown trout. I'm not talking about like just double digits, like 10 pounds. There's fish that are regularly caught maybe every other year, upwards of 20 pounds. One of the best techniques for these big browns is going to be trolling some of the bigger swim baits or rapalas out there. Every year you see pictures out there with these guys with big old trout, and they're caught on those big plugs. So get out there and fish the upper and lower Twin. Anglers should remember that regulations changed in 2021, so there are some areas that are open now, some areas that are closed early in the season, some are catch and release, so do your due diligence, check out all your regulations, and see what you might be able to fish on your way up to where you're going to be fishing on the opening day. I'm hoping for a great year of fishing up there in the Eastern Sierra. I know Mono County and the city of Mammoth Lakes have some pretty big dollar amounts for their fishing stocking budget, and I've heard they're upwards of 100,000 each. So that means 100,000 in Mono County, another 100,000 in the city of Mammoth. So that's a ton of lakes that are going to be stocked with some trophy trout. Now, before we get to that bonus spot, I want to talk about a bit of news that just came out this past week. Supposedly, before this news broke, the Department of Fish and Wildlife was going to be stocking up to 75% of what they used to stock years ago. But the big news is that the fish hatcheries up there had another bacterial outbreak. I don't know how that's going to play out for this season. Hopefully they can get it under wraps, so that way maybe in a month or two they can start stocking trout again as well. As right now, those two hatcheries up there that supply the majority of the Eastern Sierra with trout by the Department of Fish and Wildlife are shut down right now because of this bacterial outbreak. Let's talk about that bonus spot. So after those 5 spots I gave you, I told you I was going to give you a bonus spot, and that spot is Leavining Creek. This should be a good opener for Leavining Creek because they've been stocking it over by the campground and along the creek as well, with some trophy trout between 3 and 6 pounds. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully it helps you catch some fish on opening day up there in the Eastern Sierra. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and it helps you catch some fish up there for the Eastern Sierra Trout Opener. Until the next one, thanks for having me.